Hello folks, and welcome back to a new game here. This is a demo that's part of the Steam summer demo thing that's going on. This is America's Tower Simulator, and basically you are an air traffic controller and you can go through and kind of control the planes and see what's going on. So I went through a little bit of this. I haven't done all of it, but there are 5 exercises and a tutorial. The tutorial, quite honestly, you have to go through, but it's not that useful because the commands I found don't work all that well, but that's okay. Let's jump into this and see what level 1 here has for us. We're not going to go through all of it here, but it's just a little fun little thing that we have. And I apologize if my sound is off because I don't have my headphones, and I need to turn the sound up on this because the airplanes are going to make announcements, and if you don't keep track of those announcements, you're kind of in trouble. So we have 15 minutes, we have to depart 3 planes, and our ceiling and visibility are okay. So taking a look here, there's no pause mode or anything like that,
Tower.
but we have planes lined up.
This is Hotel India 741 in general aviation. We are a Piper 350 and our destination today will be the Northwest. Requesting taxi for departure. Hello Tower.
So you can see we have our first 2 planes, these guys right here. They will highlight, but after a while they're kind of ignored. Just note that the clicking point on the general aviations are a little above. So we'll plop this out here. We're ready to taxi, and you can taxi out here. We'll go out with
Via Charlie Juliet
that, Charlie Juliet. So if we take a look here, they're going to go out this way. They're going to go Charlie and then Juliet, which is the secondary taxiway. We have another plane here that's ready to taxi, and that's going to taxi the same way, Charlie Juliet, and hopefully they won't hit each other. And I don't know what this little thing does. We can put planes in there, but I don't really know what that's for. So we have some planes getting set up. Over here, you'll see that there's a little visual map of what's going on the airport. The planes will not hit each other, even when planes are landing. I've tried to crash them. It doesn't work. But we have some bigger planes lined up here, some of which we can see, some we can't. Like this plane here. I'm assuming that's A6, but A6 should theoretically be somewhere over here, not there. Whatever. We have those guys coming in. We have a radar system set up here, and we have this guy. This guy never does anything or moves as far as his feet. He stays in the entire exact spot the entire time. He just stays, and it's entertaining. I like watching him. But our goal here was to have a couple planes take off. So we have HI-741 and HI-858. And you can actually hit the space bar and talk to these planes. In the command list here, you can kind of see what's going on. And if you're not sure what the call signs are, you can go through. If we go to HI, that's Hotel India. I was never in the military. I've never controlled an airplane as far as air traffic control goes. So I'm not really sure how to do all this stuff, but we'll see. Visually, the game, I kind of dig. It's a weird mix, and I think it could be cleaned up. I think actually it could be simplified a whole bunch. The planes, I think, look really cool. They're kind of minimal, but they're detailed enough that you get the information. The bus is the same way. Everything in this game that's built in here is relatively minimal but detailed, and that's kind of an important part here. If we take a look back at these mountains, they're way too detailed. They don't fit in with this game at all. Same with the ground as far as like the textures put on the runways here and the textures put on the ground. I'd much more enjoy this game if things were kind of set up there.
This is Air Europa 089er, position Bravo 3, requesting pushback and startup.
So you can see we have position Bravo 3, which is B3. We're going to control that, and we're going to go back here, and we're going to face north.
Pushback approved.
There's no direction on this, but north is to the left. And that's all you really need to know about this one. South is facing down. And anything in the sea area has to face south, and pretty much everything else you want facing north, because we're going to bring them out this way, and all takeoffs happen from this way. I know that planes take off facing into the wind so they can generate lift, and when they're landing, they face going against the wind so that they kind of drop a little easier.
Air Europa 089er, ready to taxi.
So I missed that one. Who's ready to taxi? Which one's ready to taxi? Oh, okay. So we have this one. You're going to go Charlie Juliet. And so you're going to go here and then go up. If we take a look here, you're going to see that these don't turn or act perfectly, but that's okay. This is a demo game, and even if it was a finished game, it's not the end of the world. So it's going to meet that point there. It's going to turn. You can see it kind of bounces around there. It's fine. It's not too big of a deal.
American 7583, we are 10 miles
And
on
then we have a
final.
tab up on the top
Requesting
left that we have
meteorological
a plane
conditions.
coming in for landing. It asks for conditions. We will give it
American
this conditions.
7583,
And on the
continuing
radar
approach
here,
to
it pops
runway
up.
17.
We can see
With
it
information
just off
Bravo.
the distance there with
Hotel
those
India
mountains.
741, ready for departure.
Go back to ground. Hotel India 741 is ready for departure. So we're going to go pop that open. We're going to hold space. Hotel India 741, clear for takeoff.
Hotel India 741, runway 17, clear for takeoff.
And-
Wind 180 degrees 10 knots.
Yeah, I don't care. There's a command list here that helps you go through what to do
Hotel
with all
India
of these.
858, ready for departure.
Hotel India 858, clear for departure.
Hotel India 858, runway 17, clear for takeoff. Wind 180 degrees 10 knots.
Yeah, whatever. So we have those going. These guys are going to take off back to back. Again, the planes will not hit each other. On arrivals, we do have to make sure. So we have to check in
We are
every so
7
often.
miles on final.
So you have to check in because they do require one more thing before they land, which is a final check of the weather. We can see our first plane taking off here. That's Hotel India 741. Has now airborne and is clearing our airport. And this bad boy is lining up here. And AEA, which I don't know what that stands for, so we have to go to the call signs here. And AEA, that is Air Europe. They don't always make sense. Like JetBlue, okay. Dutch Express, I don't know what that is. Some of these are real, some of them are not. Like the JetBlue's clearly real. Here we have American, UPS, there's a FedEx. So we have planes that are real and not real. Whatever, it's fun. And let's go back to our arrivals. So there we go.
Clear to land, American 7583.
And then that one's cleared to land. It's close enough. It's only within 2 miles. And we're going to notify
Roger
that the
that.
runway is cleared because we need to make sure this one has cleared the runway before we
Air
can tell
Europa
this one to go.
089er, ready for departure.
Yeah, you're going to have to hold on. There's no way to communicate with the plane. So like say hold off or whatever. We can't do a whole bunch of stuff. And there's no kind of capture of commands or requests. So if you miss something, if you're talking, if you're not paying attention, you kind of have to deal with it. And that's probably really close to real life here. Here we have our first airplane coming in, ALL 7583. This game is a massive problem for me because I'm slightly dyslexic and I read my numbers backwards constantly. So this is a problem for me as far as this game goes. We're going to line up and wait now that it's passed. So
Air
it's going to get it
Europa
out onto the runway.
089er.
And then once this one notifies us it's clear, we can then have the other one take off. If you've got the name of the game, don't worry. There's a laptop here in the control tower that tells you what it is. And we can see here on the runway stuff here, the airplanes don't line up perfectly. Like this one is off here. So there's a few little bugs, a few little things that can be smoothed out, especially with turning the aircraft when it comes around these little areas. And also this little generation, which I think is super cool. I don't know if real airports have this or not, but I think this is super cool. We just need to kind of clean up a few little things, but the game's ready to go. All right. So what was AEA? And there's no pause here, by the way. Which,
American 7583, runway cleared.
okay, so the American plane has cleared its stuff. AEA, so that's Air Europe. Okay, so we will... Air Europe 089, clear for takeoff.
Air Europa 089er, runway 17, clear for takeoff.
That's so cool. And then this one we can request a stand.
Roger. I am working on it.
A stand is basically where planes come to park. We have to wait and listen carefully because it won't repeat it. So we're going to wait here.
The stand position for the aircraft is Bravo 3.
All right, so Bravo 3 is the one right in front of us, and we're going to come Juliet, which is J, and we're going to come down on letter D. So Bravo 3. Nope, we don't even have to worry about it. Let's continue through here and see what we have as our next one. We're going to do one more here. This is a neat little game. If you're into kind of management and seeing how things work, I think this is a fun little game. I'm going to... Do I do this one? No, let's go over here to exercise 3. Again, I've played all these just to see kind of what it was like, just to make sure I wasn't a complete and total moron going through here. But America's Tower Signature, or Simulator, excuse me, it's a fun little game. So we have 15 minutes to depart 3 planes, and everything is beautiful there. So
Tower, this is ABX2229er, position Charlie 3, requesting pushback and startup.
all right, so we can
Pushback approved, ABX2229er.
have that one start off.
Tower, this is General Aviation Services. We have received a request to inspect the runway 17 from the Airdrome Administrator. Oscar 4 is waiting for approval at the gate.
All right, so Oscar 4 is over here. We just approved that. To do that, you go up to General Aviation.
ABX2229er, ready to taxi.
JetBlue 1788, we are 10 miles on final. Requesting meteorological conditions.
All right, so it starts getting
JetBlue
busy here,
1788 continuing
you can only give
approach
one
to
command
runway
at a time.
17. With information Bravo.
So we're gonna taxi, go
Via
Charlie Juliet,
to the holding point Alpha. ABX
Charlie, and then
2229er.
Juliet. Go up to point A. Cool. And then we have this guy heading out. Again, his job is to check the quality of the runway. Why he is driving across the ground to do so, I do not know. Also, let's see, we can put that up there. That's not reflected anywhere on our ground stuff. So we have a ground vehicle that is not being reflected on here at all, which is slightly annoying. We can see our plane coming in. We can see that our mountains are coming in a little bit, so we lose a little bit of visibility. But I actually much prefer this outline compared to like the detail that we have here. I actually like the simplicity of it here. So we have that one taxiing. That's ABX, which if we go to our command list and look at call signs, ABX is, oh, it's just ABX, okay. And arrival-wise, we have JetBlue 1788, which is approaching. We can ask for position.
We are 5 miles on final.
And they basically
Hi
need,
Tower, this is JetBlue 824, position Bravo 4, requesting pushback and start up.
all right, so we'll flip over to ground, Bravo 4, push back facing north.
Pushback approved, JetBlue 824.
So basically it's going to come out here and face back. Ooh, look at that. JetBlue, that is a propeller aircraft, which I don't think JetBlue's ever had, but whatevs. We'll go with that. Let's see here.
We are 4 miles on final.
So roughly, once they get about 2 miles out, they have to get cleared. Oh, 4 miles
Clear
out.
to
Okay.
land, JetBlue 1788.
So we'll
JetBlue
clear that one to
824,
land,
ready
and
to
then we
taxi.
also need to
Roger that.
let us know when we're there. All right, and then JetBlue, you can go Charlie,
Via
Juliet.
Charlie Juliet, to the holding point Alpha, JetBlue 824.
And I don't know what this guy is actually doing. When we go to our general aviation and take a look, he's active. We can't increase the speed, but he is designated to inspect runway in order to make sure it is in good condition. I don't know if that's a good idea to have as a plane is coming in to land. But again, whatevs. We'll figure it out. So as we're going through here, there's a couple things I really
Tower,
do.
Dutch Express 947, position Alpha 3, requesting pushback and start up.
So we're on ground. We'll click on that. Pushback startup facing north.
Pushback approved. Dutch Express
And then we just need to make sure we
947.
drag that up. If you don't drag these up, they kind of stack and they're impossible to kind of figure out. There's a couple of UX things that I'd like.
American 7583, we are 10 miles on final. Requesting meteorological conditions. American
So like that one's a little
7583,
annoying that we can't do it right
continuing
from
approach
here. We have to
runway
click
17.
out.
With information Bravo.
Dutch Express 947, ready to taxi.
ABX2229er, ready for departure. Line up and wait, ABX2229er.
I like.
Blue 1788, runway cleared.
All right, so you can go Charlie
Via
Juliet.
Charlie Juliet, to the holding point Alpha, Dutch Express, 947.
This one we have to send a stand
Roger.
request
I am
so we
working
can
on
get to where it's going.
ABX2229er, runway 17, clear for takeoff.
We get little
The
different
stand
accents.
position for the aircraft is Charlie 3.
All right, so this is going to Charlie 3. So scroll on down, and that's going to be Charlie
Via Juliet Delta. To
Delta.
stand position
Okay.
Charlie 3.
I
JetBlue
have to think about
1788.
what all these mean.
We are 6 miles on final.
All right, you're 6 miles out, which means we can probably get JetBlue 824 out of here in that time. So we're going to wait till that one gets to its point and notifies us.
JetBlue 824. Ready for departure.
JetBlue 824, clear for departure.
JetBlue 824. Runway 17. Clear for takeoff.
All right, that's all.
We are 4 miles on final.
All right, so we should be getting ready to clear this one for landing. Again, this one will turn blue here, whereas it doesn't always turn blue for other things. It's kind of a little funky. See? Yeah. Let me pop that back.
Clear to land.
And if you
American
don't clear them to
7583.
land, it causes problems as well. So this JetBlue 1788 has cleared. It is coming into C3. This plane looks awfully close for this one, but again, they don't crash into each other from what I found. That may be disabled in the game, it may be disabled globally, or maybe I'm just too good at making sure planes stay apart from each other, but we can go through. So as we're going through here, we're not going to have any announcements here for just a little bit. I dig the style of the planes and the buildings and all that stuff. I dislike the textures. And I wish there was a way to capture what was going on, at least a little history that you could reference, because if you're not listening, if you miss something, it can be a problem real fast. All right, so we're going to
Roger that.
make sure they notify us when they clear so that we can make sure that our DNL, which if we take a look here at DNL, is our Dutch Express, which I don't know if that's a real plane or not, is clear for takeoff. The only other thing that bothers me a little bit about this game is the limited colors. If we take a look through here, we really have two colors for our planes. We have blue and white, and then there's a little bit of gray, but there's combinations of those things. So if blue, or blue, white, blue, white, blue, blue and white, blue, blue, or white. Like it's just, I'd like a little bit more variety, and I'm also interested in these guys right here. What do those mean? So let's go over to arrivals. We have ALL.
American 7583. Runway cleared.
All right, we're going to request
Roger.
it stand.
I am working on it.
ALL. American 1.
The stand position for the aircraft is Bravo 4.
American 1 7583. Taxi to B4 via Juliet Delta. Nope. Didn't
Dutch
rec-
Express 947, ready for departure.
All right, let me find that plane. Okay, we're just going to go because it doesn't understand me at all.
Via Juliet Delta. To stand position Bravo 4. American
All right, and then
7583.
this one we can take off.
Dutch Express 947, runway 17, clear
See,
for
I think it wants to say
takeoff.
Dutch, but it says Dutch. The wheels are a little bit in the ground here. It's just minor stuff. It's nothing big deal. Like the playability of the game is there. There's just a few minor annoyances, and visually I would like it to look just slightly different. I think it would look good with the flatter kind of angular colors, or I guess this is not voxel, but it's close to pixelated kind of version of stuff. I think it would look a little better. But once we get this one out of here, we should have this one, and I think that's going to be the end of our view of this. Looking around the airport, it's nice. I wish you could look up and down a little bit. There is, when you go through the tutorial, it says you can look up and down, but you can't. And that's fine. There's some trucks and stuff over here. Again, I like this play with the little helicopters. We can see our plane going, even though it's clearly not working there. That's fine. And there we go. So that is our America's Tower Simulator demo here. Fun little game, little work simulator. Keeps you on your toes, keeps you thinking, and I dig it. There's a lot of other stuff inside of the demo that I highly suggest you play if you get a chance. And there's some weird visual artifacts like B1 still visible. Who cares? It's fun. It's not a big deal. I look forward to playing this a little bit more once it comes out and gets a little bit more cleaned up. But it's fun overall. So folks, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.